Yes.
Zozobra is staged each year by the Kiwanis Club of Santa Fe as a fiery and exciting kickoff to the annual Fiestas de Santa Fe during the first weekend in September following Labor Day.
That's right. At dusk, the popular Zozobra event takes place at Fort Marcy Park, located just a few blocks from historic Santa Fe Plaza, and you can now be a huge part of the festivities with your art. So, joining us now to tell us more about Zozobra Art Contest is Ray Sandoval, the Zozobra Event Committee Chair. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So, yeah, this is exciting. I mean, this is something that I absolutely love. When Zozobra happens, I know it's fall.
Yep,
That
absolutely.
is the official kickoff of fall in New Mexico. Tell us a bit of history about Zozobra.
You know, Zozobra will be celebrating his 91st year, so
Really?
Zozobra is the original Burning Man. And as we march up to our 100th anniversary, we're actually doing our Decades Project, and so last year was the 1920s. This year will be the 1930s, and so those kids that incorporate the 1930s Zozobra look, he's a little bit fatter, he's balder in the 30s. You know, I tell people that there was so much gloom during the Depression that he was eating a lot of gloom, and so he got a little bit of a pot belly.
There you go, okay.
So the kids that incorporate that will obviously have a little bit leg up in our contest. But this is the third year that we've run our contest.
Yeah, let's talk about the contest. It's an art contest. How does it work?
Definitely. So what we're doing is we're asking the community, and this is everyone in New Mexico, to come out and do your best Zozobra. This is going to be anywhere from 5 years old to 18. The older kids will become the child poster or the student poster, and then the other entry will become the student t-shirt. And so we're really excited about that. But as you can see here, from we get mediums in almost everything. People sculpt things and so forth and so on. And this art is actually displayed at Zozo Fest, which is now also in its third year.
Really?
It's the
Zozo
week
Fest.
before. And people get an opportunity to come and see all the Zozobra art. And what's great is as you wind your way through all the exhibits, the last exhibit that you see is Zozobra's body, where you can actually write down your gloom yourself and stuff it in.
That
and
will
then
be going in that year.
Absolutely. And
That's
then you
great.
can see his head as well. So people get a big kick out of that. And you know, it's interesting to watch people take it to actually write down their gloom. It's almost as like a secret ballot, you know, because they look to see who's looking, they crumble it up, they walk over, they put it in Zozobra, they tie it on, they shake him to make sure it's not going to fall out.
I'm sure some of that gloom is probably I mean, obviously very personal. I mean, it is a really good time, and a lot of people really believe in that. It is an opportunity to kind of share some of those demons and get rid of them. I mean, that's the whole idea behind Zozobra.
Absolutely. And I can tell you that the most moving experience is we had a woman who was in stage 4 cancer. And she walked up, it was the day of the event, we let her walk up, and Zozobra had already been hung up, and it looked like she had a blue blanket with her. And what it was her hospital gown, and she asked if she could put it inside Zozobra. She was in remission. And she said, you know, my doctors told me that this was the last article of clothing I'd ever wear. And you know, you kind of choke up and you really realize how important this event is to people. It's their kickoff, but it's also their new year and leaving stuff behind.
An opportunity for rebirth. That's
now,
great.
if somebody wants to submit art, when's the last chance to get their art submitted?
So for the student art contest, it's May 18th, and we do this because the schools will be going out for summer, and obviously we need to get all the merchandise and everything ready, so May 18th is the last date. But for our adults, there's going to be June 8th will be the deadline for our adults.
Okay, and you said that there's a variety of mediums, as we're seeing here. There's illustration, there's sculpture.
Yeah, we get everything. We get clay, we'll get paper mache, we'll get drawings and charcoal, you know, watercolors. And for me, the younger kids, there's nothing like seeing Zozobra in crayon. It's pretty cool.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so again, let's just touch in before we get out of this, the Decades Project. You said the 1930s. So any tips for our budding artists out there that want to submit, any tips that you might be able to recommend on how to incorporate it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, on burnszozobra.com, we have a lot of pictures from the 1930s. Again, he does look different. For the first time, he is bald. He is also a little bit overweight. You know, Zozobra's not as slim and trim. And you guys are showing some great pictures right here with his creator, Will Schuster. Huge, huge ears. And so as you incorporate those older Zozobras, those will definitely get you some good points.
Okay, so we can go to that website, we can take a look at some of the, I mean, it's just fun to look back at the evolution of the character.
Absolutely. You know? It's fantastic. And you know, it's interesting because Schuster wrote in his diary that after the 1930s, where Zozobra was a little bit bald and a little bit chunky, he felt that the kids would not be afraid of him. And so as you see the 1940s and the 1950s, he becomes very slim and trim. He has a full head of hair, and he looks more goblin-like.
Wow. Yeah, which is kind of how he's, well, I've come to know him. That's great.
Absolutely.
Okay, so again, May 18th for the student submissions, June 8th for the adult submissions. And the website we go to submit?
burnszozobra.com.
burnszozobra.com. Fantastic, guys. Well, we, of course, will have those links at casa.com, so get to work on your Zozobra. Thank you so much for bringing this in.
Thank you.